came up with a new nickname, right, for Victor Wembanyama?
Yeah, I did.
What is it? Pegasus?
Pegasus?
Yeah.
The Spurs flew into Golden State on the second night
Mythology
of a back-to-back. No Steph Curry in this one. The Warriors getting it done by committee early, but no answer for Victor.
The double team came. They were great. They didn't foul. Did not stop him there.
Very next possession here. The Warriors turn it over. The Spurs
He's just striding. He's not even sprinting.
Look out below.
Alley.
Once again off the glass here. And then Wemby getting fired up. Going ahead to the third quarter, De'Aaron Fox. Nice pass here. By the way, Fox just named a replacement all-star here, so we will see him in Los Angeles.
Oh,
but right now we're seeing that De'Aaron Fox.
When you're like number 2 in the West, you get a little nod, right?
Connection, Tim.
Oh, my.
About a minute later, Spurs in transition. Wemby pulls up for 3, gets that one to go. Victor finished with 26 points in this one. So, Wemby, what are your plans for the All-Star break?
I'm looking forward to not being as, strict in my, like right now, I don't know, I might go to bed 1 hour later or something because I know I don't have to rest up in the next, I don't know. We still got the All-Star game, but it's going to be a little easier.
Go have some fun at the All-Star game.
For sure, that's the goal, man. It's fun for me as winning.
For some of us, staying up an hour later, that is our idea.
That's you and me, Malika.
Of a rocket time, right? We're there like we're going to bed at 9:30 tonight. We're getting real wild.
What did we walk into?
We feel you,
Girl
Victor.
Scouts meeting.
You rest up. Hey,
that is us.
Flavor of Girl Scout cookies, and it is delicious.
Only you would know that.
They hit the All-Star break on a 6-game winning streak. They're the hottest team in the league right now. So maybe the Thunder should be looking over their shoulder here. The Thunder and the Phoenix Suns last night in action. Jalen Williams, he started out this game incredibly hot. Gets this one to go. He started perfect from the field. Once again, Hartenstein finds J-Dub.
You see that little drop?
Pulls up for 3, gets that one to go. And then, once again, he drives, spins, looking really good. And like he's having fun in there.
Looking the best he has all season.
Couple dunks for Chet.
Chet for the slam. But watch this play here. After the fast break, Williams, it looks like he comes up just a little bit hobbled here. He's holding his calf, his hamstring rather. He would exit this game. He did not return, and the Thunder win 136-109. Now, OKC, they have one more game tonight before their All-Star break, but it's going to be some tough sledding after that. They have the second most difficult remaining schedule in the NBA, and they lead the Spurs by just 3.5 games. So let's start with some injury updates here, because both Jalen Williams, SGA, they're dealing with those nagging injuries. Tim, let's start with J-Dub. What's the level of concern here?
I mean, there is concern. He's out tonight, obviously, against the Milwaukee Bucks. He did strain that hamstring again. That's the second time in less than 4 weeks. They're saying he will be reevaluated after the All-Star break, which is the same thing with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and that abdominal strain.
Yeah.
And being reevaluated after the All-Star break obviously is not a guarantee that he will be ready to return. It was 10 games for J-Dub the last time he strained this. And we'll see how long he's out with this one.
Maybe they want to be a little bit cautious, but the question is, Perk, can they afford to be? Because I want to be careful saying that Oklahoma City is vulnerable, but they've been as vulnerable right now as they are, as we've seen really in the past 2 years.
I wouldn't say vulnerable, but I would just say that other teams around the league are looking them eye to eye right now. And that one team is the one guy that we just showed, the San Antonio Spurs.
Pegasus?
Yeah, Pegasus. But they're on their heels like a pair of church socks. And when you think about what the Spurs are doing right now, they check all the boxes. They're playing at an elite level. And can we take the clip off real quick, the B-roll?
You want to just straight down the barrel?
Talk to the people.
Take the B-roll
Talk
off
to the
because
people.
we didn't give Adam Silver and the NBA a congratulations today. They actually found their new face in the NBA. Yeah, Victor Wembanyama. He is the new face of the NBA. And if anybody want to argue with me, we could argue for hours or days, but you're going to lose this argument. Here's the reason why. When you talk about a guy that's embracing that role and embodying that, he wants that, right? He checked that box. When you talk about a guy that's going to perform at a high level and do things that we've never seen before, he's going to do that. When you talk about a guy that's going to put butts in the seats,
right,
not just at the crib, but in away arenas, He does that.
But you know what the one metric that he cares about is? It's not, I mean, that's all great, the butts in the seats, and he cares about the winning piece of it. Do you think that the Spurs can catch OKC?
I do. They're only 3.5 games back. Why wouldn't they? And they want to catch them. They should want that #1 seed, because now I'm going to say this. What's the #1 knock on the San Antonio Spurs right now?
I mean, they're young. They don't have experience in the postseason.
So wouldn't you want home court through as much as possible and play as many playoff games?
That's what Detroit's trying to do.
My point exactly.
Look, I'm right there with you, Perk. Earlier this week, I was very, very high on Victor Wembanyama's performance. We saw the numbers, the 17 points in 4 minutes, 25 and 8. And Perk, I agree with you. We're witnessing the future face of the NBA, because right now we're in a changing of the guard, right? LeBron, Steph, KD, their teams are maybe like not as successful as we would have hoped. But right now, when I look at Victor Wembanyama, I think of the words world tour. It feels like he's on a world tour from arena to arena. Like the greats, he is making sure he satisfies NBA fans and shows his full level of talent. He's not sitting back relaxing. He also is the prototypical future of what the game is when it represents positionless basketball. So you're not far off, Perk. I believe you're right. You might say, you didn't say current face, you said future.
And I'll tell you this, the fact that Jalen Williams came back on Monday with a few games left before the All-Star break, that tells me that the Thunder had some concern about the Spurs catching him. That gap has closed. Obviously, San Antonio showed there ain't no fear from the Spurs of the Thunder. And here, OKC, they needed J-Dub because Shea was out, because A.J. Mitchell, who's a 6th Man of the Year candidate, also has been out for a while. The safe, cautious thing to do would have let him just rest right on through the All-Star break. He came back on Monday, and they don't do that if they're not looking over their shoulder.
So I like looking at the NBA through tiers, right? There's like a tier 1 and there's a tier 2. And I believe the Oklahoma City Thunder are tier 1 and definitely 3. And based on these tanking teams, there's definitely a 4, okay? But tier 2, the gap between 1 and 2 is getting smaller and smaller. And in that second piece, you have the San Antonio Spurs. In my opinion, you also have the Denver Nuggets. Now, they're missing a couple of key pieces, but if they're healthy, they're a team that I know that OKC is looking back like, we went to 7 versus these guys. And Jokic missed a couple games, which means that wear is not on him when the postseason comes.
And that's a great point. And this is why I bring up and I say that the Western Conference is wide open, because you can't take for granted how serious soft tissue injuries are. We've
seen that this season.
Hell yeah. And think about Aaron Gordon, right?
Yeah.
The same injury he had last year in the postseason, he got that one again this year, right? He pulled his hamstring again, and now they're without Cam Johnson, the Nuggets are. They're without Peyton Watson.
Right.
And so when I think about J-Dub, Tim, you're right. And the one thing I don't want to do is get banned from another organization.
We noticed you weren't wearing your Thunder jacket yesterday.
I know. And I know how I feel about that whole staff over there, especially the medical staff. I was there. I had surgeries. I know the process that they go through.
There's a butt coming. What's the butt?
Floor. But I did question when I saw him on the floor. I believe it was against the Lakers. It was, and I was like, maybe they should have held them out. But I do know this: the way it goes with the Oklahoma City Thunder, once you injure yourself, you get an MRI. They give you a timeline. You rehab, and before you get back on the floor, they don't care about what you tell them. You go get another MRI to make sure.
But Tim, I mean, the reporting that you have, maybe that does suggest that at least the Thunder are aware that the gap is getting smaller and smaller. What tier are the Houston Rockets in?
I would say 2.5.
2.5. She's taking the 0.5.
They're not
after what
they're
we saw
not certified
with the
like so
and the Rockets.
Tier 3.
Well, what we saw from the Clippers and the Rockets maybe showed us where that 0.5